Hey y'all, what's going on? It's Barb Meets World. We are back again to discuss The Real Housewives of Potomac's Season 9, Episode 4, which is entitled Bunking Beds and Butting Heads. Yes. So before we get into that though, y'all, go ahead, hit the like button. For me, it helps me and my channel in terms of the algorithm. It helps me attract new subscribers such as yourself. So hit the like button, please, and thank you. Also, while you're at it, if you're not a subscriber just yet, not quite sure what you're waiting for, but I would love to have you. Please go ahead, hit the subscription button, become a Barb's babe, stay a while. There's more than enough room. Also, let's keep the conversation going in the comments section below. I would love to hear what you guys think, not only about the episode, but as well as my commentary. And hit the notification bell so you know every single time I make an upload just like this one. And last but not least, y'all, hit the share button. Share me with your folks. I mean, not too much, right? Not too many asks, okay? Not too many asks, but I just gotta ask y'all for just a little bit, little something. This is a mutually beneficial relationship, so please just do those things, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it because I enjoyed this episode, and we picked right up with where we left off last week, which is with Mia and Karen in the car. Mia is giving Karen the third degree. She's really trying to get some information out of her about what's going on in her life. And Karen is still very much tight-lipped, very much hush-hush, because from one angle, it's like, she has the legalities of it all. She doesn't want to incriminate herself, which I totally understand. But at the same time, I feel like she still could have gone about this in a more accountable way, because everybody's online like, girl, you not taking accountability for anything. And we gonna need a little something. We really do. How do you guys feel about it? I feel like she should have, again, came into the season leaning into it a bit more, spoke to her attorneys about how she can take accountability for it without incriminating herself. Otherwise, I stand by what I said. She should have just sat the season out then, if that was the case. If you were going to come on here and tiptoe around stuff, not really, speak about stuff, then why are you here? Why are you here? And sorry, y'all, I keep touching my hair because I just got a haircut, and like I'm still getting used to it. I'm still getting used to it. I got a long bob situation going, and I mean, I like it. Y'all like it. I like it, but I'm just trying to get used to it. Okay, I'm just trying to get used to it. Anyway, but yeah, I'm just like, girl, you're not giving us anything to work with, so of course they're gonna keep coming for you. Yeah, she should just sat it out. If she couldn't say anything at all, or she didn't want to say anything at all, you should just sat it out, Karen. Sorry, Grand Dame. Anyway, so at the same time, Karen brings up the fact that Jacqueline had mentioned to her calling her drunk one night prior to her arrival to the party, the other day. And we also see at the same time, Jacqueline's having the same conversation over there in the car with Gizelle and Wendy. And I really appreciated how Wendy was like, "Ooh, yeah, Karen is not in the car to defend herself, so that's what we not going to do. No, ma'am." And I was like, Wendy has been subtly letting us know where, I'm not going to say all of her loyalties, because I feel like she does still can't probably handle Karen a certain way because of things Karen has said in the past, how she's, kind of been, Karen's been on some weird stuff when it comes to Wendy sometimes. But at the same time, she's letting it be known that if she had to go stand on one person's side versus the other person's side, just like she did when there was two events, she was like, I'm going over here with Karen. Just let you know. And Jacqueline's falling right into it. So that's why later on in the episode, when she gets her booty handed to her, it is what it is. Jacqueline, she came into the season very much, I feel like, trying to make a moment, trying to steal the show, be like the top the top tier, friend or whatever. And I just don't think that that's her personality. I don't think, and that's okay. Not everybody's meant for reality TV. Not everybody's going to have these iconic one-liners and, going to be Gone with the Wind fabulous and all that stuff. Like, it's not in everybody's future. And that's okay. As she says later on, she's that girl in other areas of her life. So that's cool. Stay over there then. Anyway. Jassi and Kei, they're talking a bit about their relationships. And I mean, if I'm going just off of social media, which is actually exactly what you're not supposed to do, y'all. I'm just saying that to say, because I do follow Jassi on IG, that I mean, she does seem to be happy in her life. Her and her man, they be doing them or whatever. He plays again for the Chiefs and all that. So she seems to be doing the do in her everyday life. And Kei seems to be doing the same thing as well. I laughed though when she was like, I used to have a fetish for old men. Yeah, I bet you were tight-lipped back there, Ashley. Do y'all feel like this is Ashley's last season? Do you feel like she hasn't really been giving? How do you guys feel about Ashley right now? Because I'm not gonna lie, there were a couple times where I was like, oh, I forgot Ashley was sitting right there. Or, we're just used to Ashley having more to say than I feel like she's been saying and having going on this season. Just food for thought for you guys, right? When asked by Wendy how her and Karen are, Gizelle says that they'll be fine, but there needs to be a conversation, which we will get to later on. And Wendy's like, well, look, we already know Wendy's going to be celebrating her birthday during this trip. And she's just like, can you guys just like talk about that? Not tomorrow? Then like, can we make that happen? And you know what? Gizelle actually abides by that. And I was, once again, y'all, I have nothing ill to say about Gizelle in this episode. And that's still a very new feeling for me. I'm somebody who's used to come down here, verbally whacking Gizelle over the head as many times as I can, but she hasn't really given me a reason to do so. So that, to be a fly on the wall for whatever conversations were had that have caused her to move in a direction of trying to repaint her image I would have loved to know about those. I really would have, y'all. Jacqueline, again, she was she bit off more than she could chew in this situation too. I feel like when she asked Wendy about does she have any issues with anybody in the group right now, and Wendy's like, yeah, like I don't, but now that you mention it, I feel like there's been some unspoken tension, or shall I say competition, between you and Jassi when it comes to Mia. What about that? And I was like, "Ooh, Jacqueline probably didn't see that coming back on her," which that's what and that's why Jacqueline wasn't able to go toe to toe with Karen later on, because it's like, you got to be quick. You got to be like, you got to be able to look past the surface of whatever is coming at you and have something quick to say in response, or something that's not going to, make you look bad, or is going to then turn the spotlight back onto the other person. And I don't know if Jacqueline, I mean, I'm not going to say I don't know. I know Jacqueline has not quite fine-tuned that skill. So maybe she'll go practice in the mirror. I don't know. We'll see. And Jacqueline, you're saying there's no comparison between you and Jassi, but at the same time, it seems like Mia doesn't have any shortage of friends. And we also seen how Mia was quick to throw you under the bus and be at odds with you just a season or two prior. So are you guys really that close, if that's the case? Last season at Sharice's house, didn't they just make up and stuff? So are you guys really as thick as you guys think, or as you think? Just saying. Mia and Karen FaceTime Stacey. She does not answer, but Mia goes on to say that Stacey is just not that interesting. And that's where I have to, press stop, because I actually do find Stacey very interesting. A lot of people keep drawing this comparison between her and Kenya. They're both from Detroit, very beautiful, very well spoken, the whole nine, all the things. And I want to see a link up between them two. I do, because it's like, I get why people are saying that. And although I don't think they like are the spitting image of one another or anything like that, their energy, just something about them. Yeah, I could definitely see her having like a Kenya energy. I do. Here for it. I'm like, girl, you're lying. You're lying again, Mia. Moving on. They reached the house. Beautiful house. Mia definitely did her big one when it came to picking the house, or production, whoever did. Shout outs to you. They had butlers, individual butlers / concierge for every lady. They had champagne waiting for them, cleansing towels. They had lunch ready. Everything was good. I don't feel like there's any critiques that need to be made there either. And of course, Mia had to let us know that this is where she moved to at 19 with Ink, post-graduation. Who cares? Anyway. And a lot of people were irritated with Karen being irritated about, Karen was having so much to say about Wendy and her birthday and all this or whatever. And I was like, I don't think that she was necessarily like jealous or trying to ruin Wendy's party or birthday, as much as she was just letting it be known that y'all really be playing when it comes to me, like, and I'm just not gonna let up off that. And honestly, we saw the flashbacks. That's actually true. Like, that's actually very true that Karen hasn't really had the best birthdays on the show. And because of that, if I was Karen, I would celebrate my birthday off the show. Just saying. And I'm still mad that we never got to see her triple 20 last season or whatever. I feel like that was a big slap in the face, if you ask me. Now the ladies go get settled. They got their rooms and everything already. And I want to say it was, yes, Karen and Gizelle had like a Jack and Jill bathroom type of situation going or whatever. Like, I think they had separate sinks, but they had to use the same toilet and shower. And of course, there's always going to be issues when it comes to sharing rooms and the room situation. Everybody else's room looked to be pretty good for the most part. I don't think we saw, did we see Ashley's room? Yeah, we did. Keiarna does get put in there with about 2,700 bunk beds. And she took it well, because I feel like a lot of the other ladies would be like, oh no, I'm getting my own hotel, yada yada yada. But I could see it being because she's newer and stuff like that. And at first I was like, well, Jassi's newer, so why didn't she also have to go in there? But then I was like, oh, Jassi's supposed to be like Mia's friend, so she hooked her up. I guess that makes sense. There's always going to be a situation when it comes to the rooms. And Jacqueline also is going to be sharing a room with Mia, which very close for comfort. A lot of the ladies are like confused. I think Karen said something like, is this a blast from the past or something like that? Because this is something that they typically do or whatever, share a room or a shower or whatever. So I guess that's why Jacqueline feels like she's irreplaceable, because she's the one that sleeps next to her friend every night when Ink is not sleeping next to her, I guess. I don't freaking know. Don't ask me how to summarize their relationship, y'all. I have no idea. And Stacey also is going to be sharing a room with Kay as well. So they have quite a few bunk beds to choose from. And they actually pushed together 2 of the bunk beds for Kay. And I was just like, I don't think that's even going to be comfortable, but whatever. It is what it is, y'all. What I did think was sweet is how Mia decorated Wendy's room. We know that they've had a very checkered past, mostly due to Mia's part, all of Mia's part, actually. So I thought it was cool how she took that extra step to make this a really special like place and celebratory moment for Wendy. And I feel like Wendy actually really did appreciate that. Um, I think she did. I think she did. Y'all let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Um, Wendy says every time, no, I already talked about that. Gizelle says she's going to be leaving first thing in the morning because the twins have a cap and gown ceremony, I believe. And then she's going to be jumping on a plane to come right back. And I'm just like, see, that's too much movement for me because it's just no shade at all. But I just think about like Candy and different people that sometimes have to like take off when there's these all hands trips and stuff like that. And I'm not counting anybody's pockets. Especially in these times, get it how you can, honey. I'm here for it, but this definitely speaks to how this is probably like definitely Gizelle's moneymaker. She wasn't about to miss out on all of it because if that was the case, I would have just came back the next day after the cap and gown ceremony. I wouldn't have came back for like 5 minutes today, but I digress. Gizelle also says that she's glad that Jacqueline and Mia are good as they all sit down to have lunch. And this is kind of where things started to go a little bit south because Jacqueline actually winds up speaking out and saying that she heard that Jassi referred to her as Mia's sidekick. And Jassi's like, no, that I didn't quite say that like that. Nonetheless, Jacqueline feels attacked because she feels like this is actually very much what the ladies have been thinking about her for quite a bit, that she's Mia's sidekick, and she jumps up to let us know that, honey, she is not anyone's sidekick. She has her own business. She is a mother. She holds it down. She has the hair. She has the body. She has the intellect. She has it all. And I'm like, that's why I said what I said in the beginning about like her really trying to make a splash, I feel like, this season, and trying to up the ante, because this scene for me really fell flat. And just that fast, Jassi had another one-liner, had another just snarky, I mean, she tried to say it wasn't snarky later, but I feel like it was, comment right there, because she was like, yeah, from the neck up. And I was like, oh, last week it was bunions. We've talked about necks, we've talked about ankles, but right now we're talking about neck up. And oh my God. Jacqueline's a beautiful woman. I'm not saying she is not at all. And I'm not even going to speak on the body or anything like that. But it's just like, if we're talking about like some triple threat type of like, yeah, like that's a bad, like, yeah, just, she doesn't exude like that energy. I don't pick up from her on this. She looks beautiful in confessionals. It's just, does she have the reality TV package, in my opinion? No, I don't think so. But who am I to say? I'm sitting here talking about them. So it is what it is, y'all. But that was definitely a record stop moment, because I didn't. And you see Karen and Gizelle looking at each other. You see all ladies kind of like, oh my goodness, like, are you, girl? Stop. Just And Gizelle said what we're all thinking, which is like, y'all are arguing over being a sidekick. Like, what are we talking about here? Because who really wants to be a sidekick here? Because Jassi's like, no, what I said is this trip is going to be even better because Mia has a new sidekick, or has somebody, however she put it, and she's preferring, AKA her. And I'm just like, Gizelle, you have a point here. Who does actually argue about being a sidekick? Me, never. Absolutely not. But at the same time, Gizelle, I wouldn't say too much, because this is your first season without your sidekick. If we're being real, just saying. And it's also giving a hit dog hollering, because if I know I'm not a sidekick, or if I know I'm not whatever label you're trying to place on me, if I know that, then I'm not even going to have anything to say, because I'm going to let you live in your delusional world. I have nothing to prove to you. I know who I am, and what I stand for at all times. So if that's how you feel, that's how you feel, and that's fine. But I don't need to go on a whole mantra about it in front of everybody, because I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. Y'all think that Jacqueline was bothered? Because I do. But let's get into real meat and potatoes at this moment, y'all. So Stacey asks Jacqueline, because Mia let us know that she's going to be having some additional friends come through or whatever. Stacey asks Jacqueline, like, oh, like those are your friends as well or whatever. And Jacqueline's like, I mean, me, you know, I'm cordial with them. And what? My notes, y'all know I be doing the voice to texting, and sometimes my notes just do not be noting how I need them to. Anyway, and Mia also sums it up with saying that, yeah, well, once upon a time Jacqueline was in the group chat, but then she just like dramatically like left or whatever. So it's giving very much, you are territorial, you are somebody who doesn't like to share your friend. And I couldn't be friends with somebody like that. I feel like that's weird to me. Have I been in situations like that? Yeah. Not because of me, but you can tell when somebody's like weirdly possessive of their friend and has an issue with you kind of coming in and quote unquote stepping on their toes, when at the end of the day, nobody is obligated to only be one friend to one person for the rest of their life. Like, you can have whatever friends you want at any time you want, and other people shouldn't, your friends shouldn't have an issue with that, because like, how old are we? Exactly. And I love how Stacey was like, "Ooh, girl, like it seems like you have a lot of beef with a lot of people." And Jacqueline's like, "You know, I don't have a beef with a lot of people at all." And this is like the perfect timing for her to bring up or for Karen to bring up how she's been nothing but a great friend to Jacqueline, and she feels like in turn that's not been reciprocated, because next thing she finds out is that Jacqueline was talking real reckless on her situation down at the party or whatever, and talking about how she had called her the night before drunk or whatever. So they start going back and forth, y'all. And Jacqueline, she was really trying to defend herself, but Karen let it be known that she does not with her, and she's calling her a liar. And Jacqueline's like, I'm nobody's liar. Okay, Karen, da 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 da. And she actually starts to cry, which I'm just like, are you serious? Like, don't, if you can't take the heat, stay out the kitchen, because you were so quick to, and she was very vocal. Did I write it down here? No, she says it later on, but Karen was like, girl, I don't with you. You're a liar. You're a flipper. And again, like I said, if you cannot take the heat, stay out the kitchen, Jacqueline, because you should have known that putting something out there like that during this time for Karen was going to trigger her. You should have known that. You should have been ready for whatever verbal lashing you were going to get. And if you guys were so cool at one point or whatever, you should have known that this is probably not somebody who you want to verbally spar with, because Karen be coming with it. She definitely does. And that's why I knew that this season, if there's anybody who's going to try to come for her or hold her accountable or whatever, like, it was going to be difficult, and she was going to wind up deflecting like she's been doing, because there's really not too many people on this cast who can really do that. Ashley will try at times if she feels the need. I wasn't sure if she was going to be that one or whatever. I knew Mia was going to try to take it there with her this season or whatever, but ultimately Mia's not that person. And it's like Karen knows that Mia's not that person, so I don't even think she ever really goes as full throttle as she could on her. Candace is no longer here, y'all. Because that's one person that could do it. I'm just saying, that's one person that could do it. And you know, Mia can hang. Wendy could hang up there too, of course. But I hope Jacqueline knows after this situation, you should probably be more careful with how you speak on situations, because you might wind up being the one in tears. Just saying. Okay, what else do we have on this subject? Karen says she the eighth wonder of the world, baby. Bye. Anyway, Stacey was she shows up, she's surprised, or she had already showed up, but she was surprisingly okay with the bunk bed situation, which I'm like, see, that's what we need. She has fresh energy. That's what I'm saying. I'm not bored with her. I think she has a lot to offer, and I think she's here for a good time, not a long time. And that's what we need to see, y'all. Her and Kate seem to hit it off. They're cool with sharing a room with each other. Then we see Jassi in her room talking to Jacqueline about everything that just, transpired or whatever between them. And she's like, girl, I wasn't saying anything like about, physically or whatever. I think you're beautiful and stuff like that. How does she try to summarize it? I'm happy you're in her life because I'll always be number one. Like Jacqueline, it's just so weird to me because she was quick to hang you out there to dry just seasons prior, but now you're up here talking about, you would think that you guys never fell out if we hear it from you. Just very odd. But Jassi was trying to explain this neck up comment, and she was like, despite whatever is going on, she can't deny she's a beautiful woman. And I was like, Jassi, is that really all you meant by it? And she's like, I wasn't talking about your body shape or anything like that. And Jacqueline was like, well, is it my outfit then? She's like, well, I don't like your outfit. And Jacqueline's like, well, what do you? It was an airport outfit. I was like, honestly, there's levels to airport outfits, and I feel like even what I'm wearing right now, this is the airport outfit. Okay, matching pants, situation. I feel like I look, cute enough. There's levels to airport outfits, honey. And no, you just weren't. It wasn't giving. It wasn't giving, Jacqueline. It just not giving. Anyway, Ashley has a quick call with her event coordinator. Who cares? She's on such this like just this. She's going hard trying to generate additional income so she can sustain her lifestyle. And honestly, I'm just like, Ashley, what have you been doing the last couple seasons then? Because you should definitely be making a hefty seasonal salary down here at Bravo. So it's like she has this scarcity mindset, which obviously we understand why. Mama was living under a bridge at one point. I get it. But at the same time, I don't, because it's like, it shouldn't be like, just relax and do the stuff that you've been doing and make the proper investments. Like what, it shouldn't be all this like, oh my gosh. And I heard that you're like super cheap. So, and frugal. So it's not like you probably like been blowing your money on so many things. I just whatever. Anyway. So the ladies all go to get dressed and everything. They have like 45 minutes. And afterwards, Stacey and Keiarna go outside to have a little sit down where Stacey talks about how they're approaching mediation and everything. And she still hasn't told her daughter about the divorce. And she honestly doesn't think that she's prepared to do that at this time. And Keiarna's like, girl, like you have to, you can't leave her in the dark. Got to be, transparent with her. And you don't want to come off as a liar to her. So that's just something that Stacey's just going to have to come to terms with. There's really no way around it. I don't really have much more to say about that. But then they move on over into how, as to how as Keiarna says, some of the ladies think that you are boring. And we get the flashback of Mia saying that she finds Stacey boring and all of that. And Stacey's like, boring, I'm anything but, because just because I do not use my success to divide, but I use it to unite, does not mean I am boring. Okay. Basically what she's saying is she vibrates at such a higher frequency than, the Mias and other people that they just don't understand. This is the new breath of fresh air that she's bringing in, and they just don't recognize it as all. Anyway, moving right along, they all show up to this riverboat, small boat. It wasn't a yacht. It wasn't a catamaran. But they show up in their Sunday's best, and Gizelle is still going on in her confessional about how her and Keiarna need to talk. They need to talk. And so on the boat, it's kind of divided where we have I guess I'll describe them as the OGs. We got the OGs plus Jacqueline on one side, and then we have the newer ladies the three newer ladies on this side over here. And while it's divided like that, we have different conversations going where we have Stacey and Kay, or Stacey asking Kay, out of everybody in the group, who are you like not the closest with or whatever? And as we already know, that person's Ashley for Kay. And that has a lot to do with how Ashley handled that situation last year, how she orchestrated that situation last year. And Kay also speaks about how they're still going, she's still waiting for the court date and all that. Because she also, as what DC pressed their charges or whatever, but she also pressed her own charges and stuff like that. So I want to, which we're going to hear more about that. I want to say on this trip, Ashley and Keiarna are going to go back and forth about stuff with that. So on the flip side, we have Ashley asking Mia if this is where she was at she posted something on Mother's Day, and it was a photo of her kids, Gordon and Ink, and it was taken on New Year's. This was the place that photo was taken. And of course, all the ladies are like, you guys are all here together? Like you. And Mia's like, yeah, sometimes that's cool with Gordon. Sometimes he's cool with us all being under one roof. And then other times he's like, uncomfortable. He can't do it. And Gizelle once again said what we were thinking, which is like, if the kids is confused, we damn sure are confused, because what are you saying right now, Mia? Mia doesn't quite see it that way though. She's like, Gordon, he's getting the help he needs. He's taking his medication. He's going to therapy. Like it's good. It's good right now. And so Wendy's like, so he's not, I want to say it was Wendy was like, so he's not still having like any episodes and stuff like that. And she's like, no, like he can get, manic at times or whatever. But, and then she talks about how in the past and in their marriage and stuff like that, when he would have these episodes, it will put them in a financially strained situation that she would have to get them out of. And she had to get them out of it upwards of 3 times, going back to even in 2021 when he bought her the G-Wagon and paid it in cash and stuff like that. Like that was I guess indicative of him being having an episode right there, she says. And I'm just like, I don't know what to fully believe with that. Like, because it's like Mia be lying a lot. Like a lot. But that's not to say like, because I feel like a lot of the ladies are taking the angle of like feeling bad for G because he's old or whatever. And I'm not sitting here saying that everything is Mia's fault, because it's not. I feel like both of them knew what they're signing up for and knew what their end of the bargain was. And G also, I feel like I want to say I've read that there was also some interesting bits about how he got even involved with me in the first place, about how he had a first wife or whatever and kind of dogged her out for Mia or whatever. So again, my main qualm with her is not even how she's doing him as much as it's like, what is it putting on the kids? That's how I feel, y'all. Nonetheless, Kay asks Stacey about what she's heard about like the whole dating thing, and Stacey's like, Ashley divulged that she's getting a divorce. Oh my God, do you guys hear my stomach growling? I hope not. I'm about to eat lunch after this because I am starving. But she told them how she's getting divorced, and she was all like, he, and she just didn't really appreciate that, because what's between her, she has this man that really loves her. And how does she put it? Let me see. Or yeah, she's like, she didn't appreciate her saying that. And because they're still in the same boat, y'all, but they're just on opposite sides, we have Ashley turning around saying like, girl, like, stop saying that. I said he's a friend. I didn't say anything more. I said, I didn't say that she's getting divorced and she's going to end up under a new man or anything like that. So stop saying I said that. And that's when Stacey gets up and comes over there, and she's like, well, or she further clarifies and says, well, she never thought that she would be going through a divorce. That's for one. And she's found this wonderful man who loves her. Okay. And the thing is, she cannot start a relationship with him right now because she's, still in her marriage and stuff like that. So it's almost as if she reduced something special that she has with this person down to, whatever. And she actually does apologize to Ashley with how she came at her. But honestly, I mean, I wouldn't apologize because and I know Stacey's watched this show before, and I know she's familiar with Ashley's person because she's like, Ashley didn't mean to put it out there that way or whatever and whatever. But no, Ashley, I think that you knew exactly what you were saying by doing that, because that's something that you would do. And we've seen it time and time again on this show. Just saying. And Stacey's like, girl, you threw your bunions up on my marble island one day. We spent hours the next day, like, only for you to be like, oh, we don't know each other. Like, girl, whatever. Stacey revealed that that her and TJ are not intimate because he's a Christian. I love how Gizelle had to clarify that, yeah, she was married to a whole pastor and they were definitely getting down. So yeah, just saying. I don't want to say I'm eager to see how her relationship with him develops, because that I don't feel like it's going to, and it's not because I don't want it to, it's just because of the energy that we saw when he was on our screen, y'all. Like, just saying. Y'all were there. And this is when Stacey also brings up, or I should say Karen brings up how she told Stacey about how some of the ladies said that she was boring. And Stacey's like, who said that? And it's like, no one said anything at first. And then it was me. It was Wendy that was like, yeah, it was Mia that said it, I believe. Yeah, it was Mia. Wendy doesn't have any beef with anybody, as she said before. And this is the first time we're getting her in this. And I don't want to say that I'm bored with her because of that. But I just think that she hasn't had her moment to be spotlighted yet so much. So I do appreciate, though, when she does chime in to say little things like that, because that's the type of shade I like to see on this show, y'all. Like, yeah, it was Mia. Yeah. Yeah, it was her right there. Just, delicious. Oh, so delicious. And again, Stacey has to go on to say how she's anything but boring. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. Let's move into this final scene, which is them all back at the house. The table is set for dinner. And like I said, they had on their Sunday's best already. So they were dressed for the occasion. Mia, whoever, I don't know who was, actually did do a really good job with the spread and everything. The meals sounded delicious. Everything looked really nice. They had some custom cocktails even. But as they sit down, Gizelle is like, look, I got to go in a few. So I just want to say, because I had promised Wendy that I wouldn't, ruin her birthday with this conversation or anything like that. But she turns to Karen to say, you know how important my event was with my dad and everything. And I feel like I've been such a great friend to you. And I just don't feel like you've been that same friend to me. Y'all, why does Karen respond with saying, she needed her friends that day too, and she took every measure she could possible to not let it be a conflict, and for the ladies to know that they needed to show up for Gizelle just as much as her and stuff like that. And she didn't know like the dates or whatever. Y'all, Karen knew those dates, and production rolled the clip that said, Karen, you just said that you knew that the dates were on the same day and how you was going to come earlier and stuff like that. She apologizes for not making it. But I feel like she even kind of deflected a bit in this moment, because it's like, yeah, you say you regret that you didn't come and stuff like that, but I just feel like you should have just like invited Kay and just let that be that, because she was not going to go to that event anyway. So I just don't get it. I just don't get Karen. And Karen was like, but I'm not going to take accountability for like your behavior or whatever. And I'm just like, see, that's not what that's about. That's kind of like you deflecting, Karen. You see why people are saying this? Because what does that have to do with what she said? Like, that's not, and technically speaking, Gizelle has already taken ownership for that by apologizing to the ladies, which Again, crazy that I'm even saying this about Gizelle, but she did. I did laugh though when Karen was like, I raised you better than that. Things like that come out her mouth that just make us like really go up for the grand dame. Even when she is deflecting. Sorry. Gizelle says moving forward, they just need to work on, their communication better and stuff like that. And then she heads out. And yeah, I have no critiques with how that was handled, because that's what we want to see, or that's what I want to see on these shows. Is one, this is episode 4 now. I don't think this was big enough that we needed to drag it on. I think it was very black and white. You said your part, I said my part. We're going to move on. We're going to do better. And it is what it is. Move on to new drama. I really appreciate it. And it's crazy again that I have absolutely no critiques with how Gizelle how this was handled. I really don't. Once she leaves though, what else do we talk about? Oh, Mia's friends pop up. And Mia asks them to all, introduce themselves and share like a funny story that they've had together, or whatever. First, we get the ink sucking on her toes story, which I don't even care about. And then we get another girl saying how she actually met Mia like when she was preparing to marry Gordon or whatever. And just as she's saying that, Jacqueline jumps in to be like, yeah, I've known Mia since before, when she had 22-inch rims on a Honda Accord when she was shopping at Payless. Yeah, we go way back. Girl, who are you? Are you trying to prove this to yourself or to us? Because we don't care. Like, it's like she's a one-upper she's a one-upper friend. That's what she is. She's gonna, if you say, I got Mia a pink, a pink freaking Louis Vuitton bag for her birthday or whatever, she's gonna say, yeah, I got her the whole summer collection of Louis Vuitton bags for the season for her birthday. Like, who are you trying to prove? Are you trying to prove it to her or to us? Or to who? Or to yourself? Like, I don't know, y'all. Mia's friends are baddies. Shut up, Ashley. And then we end with Mia actually bringing up a time that her, Joy, and Karen went out. Joy's her friend. And afterward, when Karen left, she actually pocket dialed them. And what Mia heard on the other line was Karen saying that, yeah, they think that I'm with Ray or whatever, but I'm actually with someone else or whatever. Yeah, they're not letting up on you, Karen. I'm sorry, but you should have, to mitigate this, maybe you wouldn't have to go and verbally spar every 5 minutes if you would have just leaned into taking some accountability. Just saying, y'all. But overall, I did really enjoy this episode. Excited to see the next one. I think everybody's bringing it. It's just crazy that I have nothing ill to say about certain people. Whereas with other people, I'm thinking it might be their last merry-go-round on this show. I don't find Stacey boring. Jassi's still giving, if you ask me. Kay can do no wrong in my book. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yep. So y'all, let me know what you guys thought of this episode, as well as my commentary in that comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share as well. Turn on your post notifications so you know every time I upload. And yeah, that is all I got for you all. Bye.